April 10, 1912. A day that will forever be etched in history. A magnificent ship, the Titanic, set sail from the port of Southampton for New York. But, was it just an ordinary voyage? Or is there something more hidden in this story? Under the command of Captain Edward Smith, the Titanic was the most magnificent ship of modern times. A floating palace, with luxurious amenities and class distinctions. But did you know that the ship's destruction was predicted 14 years in advance? A novel, Futility, published in 1898, mentioned a ship called the Titan that sank in exactly the same way. Was it just a coincidence? Or a sign of some unseen conspiracy? The Titanic was a place of luxury for the rich and famous. But there were also some who felt something strange about the voyage. Did you know that J.P. Morgan, the owner of the company that owned the ship, backed out of the voyage at the last minute? Why? Did he know of a secret? April 14th, 11:40 p.m. Suddenly, a jolt. A small collision with an iceberg. But in reality, this moment was nothing short of apocalypse. But some researchers say that the ship that sank was not the Titanic, but its twin, the Olympic, which had already been damaged. If this is true, then was it the world's biggest insurance fraud? And at the time of the disaster, when the "women and children first" policy was adopted, was everyone really saved? Reports suggest that some of the lifeboats were half empty. While hundreds of people were drowning in the sea, was it just a fluke? Or were some lives already considered important? But those who survived made revelations that made their hair stand on end. Eva Hart, who was just 7 years old, later said that her mother had already sensed the danger and had been awake all night.
Well, you know quite well what happened. The ship struck an iceberg, and I, like all 7-year-old children, of course, was in bed and asleep. But my mother wakened me, and my father went with my mother, and took me and placed me in a lifeboat, and my mother, and made no attempt to get in himself. But I really do owe the good fortune of my living to the fact that my mother had a tremendous premonition of disaster from the first time that she knew she was going in the Titanic.
Really?
And she said that to say that a ship was unsinkable, which is what the whole world was saying, to say that was flying in the face of God.
My father put us in the lifeboats, she said. But he couldn't come back. I saw people screaming, and people flailing in the water as they drowned. Charles Jerfan, the Titanic's chief baker, said that while the ship was sinking, he was drinking alcohol to keep himself warm. Amazingly, he floated in the icy water for several hours and survived. Did alcohol really save his life? Or did he know some other secret? Archie Jewell, another survivor, later reported that, as the ship was breaking apart, some people saw strange lights in the water, as if a ship was approaching, but it did not come to help. Was it just a hallucination? Or was there really a ship that could have helped but did not? But another shocking fact: a Japanese man named Masabumi Hosono, who survived, was considered a coward, not a hero, when he returned to his country. Why? Because he had survived, leaving others behind. 2 hours and 30 minutes. In just that amount of time, the strongest ship in the world, the one that would never sink, had gone to the bottom of the ocean. 1,503 lives were lost forever, and those who survived lived with a terrible memory. But was everything really as we were told? Or is there a hidden truth lurking somewhere? The Titanic was not just an accident. It was a story of strength, pride, and human error. It teaches us that reality is not always what it seems. So the question is, have we really discovered all the secrets of the Titanic? Or is something still buried deep in the ocean? Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon * so you never miss an amazing story.